Hi there, my name's Kathy Price and I'm just going to take you through a usual unit deal and how a customer comes in and how you process a unit deal within Black Pearl. So the simple thing is that we just click on sell. Then what we need to do is actually select our customer, drop down. We put in the customer who's actually standing in front of us or on the phone, that sort of thing. So in this instance, it's John Smith. He's got other orders in the system, but we don't want any of those other orders. We want to skip and create new order. Now then we get to choose what he's actually purchasing. So at this stage, he's purchasing a unit deal. So we sell a unit. The unit is actually in stock, but the Black Pearl gives you the functionality of actually searching for on orders units, as well as doing a temporary unit. Now, a temporary unit allows you to give a quote to a client without actually allocating a unit to that particular client. You may have to source the unit from somewhere else later when he actually accepts the quotation. In this instance, Mr. John Smith, he knows what unit he actually wants, and then we just look for it. We do it. If you have a stock number, you can search from the stock number. If you don't, you can actually just type in the first couple of details and then just select which unit you're going to quote on. As you can see, the unit is available, so that means it's not been sold or anything like that. This unit is actually still in quotation stage, or this unit deal, and you can see how much is on the unit record of how much we want to actually sell this for. Now, if you want to change the pricing, just click on Edit Pricing for you. And then you can actually change the base cost. So say I'm only going to give it to him for $32,000. And then we save. We're going to give him no stamp duty because he's not in the location where stamp duty is applicable. And then we're done. And then what it does, it recalculates the prices and everything like that and actually changes the deal to suit. When we go down here, the applicable taxes, so if this particular person was from another location, you could actually put the applicable tax to that person for this unit deal. We have our option and fees, so he may wish to have some work or some bling done to the item, and then that would be some labour costings. So we'll just type in the labour, HDA. Okay, how many hours is he going to pay for to actually install a few things? And as you can see here, we've actually said that it's an install value. He's going to take away some oil with him. He doesn't want us to install it. He just wants us to give him a bottle of oil with it. So as you can see here, it's in stock. I'm just going to add it as an option to the deal. Now, this is where I don't want it installed, but I actually want to note on here that the unit deal contains a line item for oil, and we just uninstall. As you can see, that's all recalculated. Anything that you want to get rid of or anything like that, so for example, he might say, well, why am I paying environmental fees? You can actually delete that particular area. I don't want the environmental fees because these are all linked fees, and there is no document fee because he's not actually paying doing finance or anything like that. So remember, I'm showing you a basic unit deal. Now, once you've added all that, he may go away and he may say, okay, well, I now want this. Okay, and now this is the time where you actually change that you're committing this particular unit to this deal, saying he's going to collect it, as well as your options. You're going to commit these options to this deal. First status, we change the status from quotation to in progress because we're now working on it. And the option is required, but when we want to commit the options. So once we commit the options, we actually take them, it shows on the part records that we're taking them out of stock and we're giving it to this unit deal. It's allocating the stock to this unit deal. The other thing it does when you actually commit your options, it will create the relevant sections down here. So as you can see, our deal merch is here, and this will be for the bottle of oil. Remember, we're just giving him the oil, passing it over. He's purchasing it. And the other one is the deal service. Now, the main thing that you need to know about the deal merch and deal service is that they need to be finalized, and they actually will allow you to, this deal service here, do tech time for your guys, okay? So you can set up your scheduler and everything like that, or do manual entry for your tech time. Will also allow you to actually allow for your labour. You may want to add additional items onto here, and that's fine. When you add on additional items to this section here, you will then have to deal with them in unit deal. So in this one here, let's go and add an item here so I can show you what it actually does. You can see here I'm going to add a bottle of green something. And remember, it's not part of the unit deal. We're adding it to the deal service section. It's just adding it, and then what it does, it actually, up the top section, you can see that you don't lose out on any money. What it does, it tells you that you've got unfulfilled items here. Okay, so you can actually drop it down and see what the unfulfilled items are. So he wants a bottle of oil, another bottle of oil, and there's an environmental charge. It's at this point that you actually say, I want to add it to the deal, or you don't add it to the deal. So if you're going to wear the cost. So the amount is 123. I'm going to invoice the customer for the item, and we apply. So those items down in the deal service section have now been added to the unit deal itself. So you're not losing out any money. Remember that these two sections down here, your deal merch and also your deal service, are actually internal areas. These will actually invoice out as per normal, but remember, the invoice should never be given to the client. So now that we're going to give that particular oil here for the deal merch to the client, we're going to invoice to the deal. Okay, so we just, yes, we want to invoice it. The client's got to pay for it, and we just say yes. What this does, it creates an invoice, and I use that in inverted commas. It's actually a journal that goes over to your QuickBooks or your Xero to add to the cost of the unit. Okay, so that's being done there. We close it back down. And as you can see now, the invoice history, this is the invoice here for the deal merch. Remember, it's internal. The client doesn't need to get a copy of it. The client doesn't need to know about it. So here's the deal service. We're going to finalize the deal service as well. So we would go through the usual status. My guys have completed the job. They've done everything they need to do, and we just save it. Now to finalize the deal service, you go down to the action button down the bottom and you say finalize job. Once you finalize the job, again, it will do an internal invoice. So this is all the documentation, etc., that needs to go integrate over to your QuickBooks or your Xero. This is the invoice here. So again, this is internal. We do not give this to the client. And now we're actually ready to the point where we can actually bill out the unit deal. You can see that the options are fulfilled, everything is right there, and then what we can do with your in progress is we're going to actually finalize this and it's been approved. Once it's been approved, then you can actually go to your checkout section and print it out or finalize it. So once we're in our checkout, we always, what's the payment method involved in this? So he's paying cash, add the payment, and what's it doing now is finalising the invoice you physically have to give to the client. So you can print, or you can do what everyone else is doing nowadays, is just email the invoice to the customer, and we just finalise the checkout. So what finalised checkout means is that it invoices it completely for the CO, and it actually closes the CO because there's nothing left to bill out. And that's a basic unit deal right through to the start to finish. As you can see, here's the invoice total. So this is the invoice that you can reprint or you can actually email out to the client. You can see that the status of the CO is closed and all the sections are actually closed off. That's it. Thank you.